Guys are streaming into the Auerbach Center early with one notable exception. Plus, just say no to a Buddy Hield trade, and I will give you a guide to going to a Celtics game, home and road. It's all right now on the Locked On Celtics podcast.
Be ever ready. Recognize the city of champs. Boston, baby, we do what you can't. Locked on number 18, Tatum and Brown, J-team, step back. We gon' wet that and slay teams. Of course, the Celtics, who else could it be? Screaming like KG with the Larry O.B. Karalis above average, assessing the team status. Best daily pod, no cap, salary matching. Clutch like Bird the DJ, keep John on replay. Prime time, dapping up the truth on the sideline. Raining Jase, how it started, raising banners, how we finished. Locked on Celtics pod, home of the winners. B.
Hey there, welcome back to the Locked On Celtics podcast right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, where it is your team every day. And I'm here for you every Monday through Friday with a free, fresh podcast drop directly to your device if you subscribe. So hit that subscribe button and watch the shows just show up on your device as they publish. Do the same thing on YouTube, ring the bell there. Get notified when I drop a video, hop into the comment section. Let me know your opinion. I'm John Karalis. I played a long time ago. Now I'm watching basketball, and I'm covering the Celtics for Boston Sports Journal. Today's show is brought to you by our good friends at Birddogs. Go to birddogs.com/LockedOnNBA. Enter the promo code LockedOnNBA for a free water bottle with any purchase. You don't want to take your bird dogs off. I know you won't. We promise you that. Later on, look, it's a Friday. We're relaxing. We're chilling. This is a very casual day, casual show. Not a lot happening in Celtics world. I'll run through a couple of little news items. We'll talk in the second segment about Buddy Hield and whether the Celtics should have any interest in Buddy Hield. As you could probably tell from my cold open, I don't think they should. And later on, we're just going to have some fun. I got asked a couple of questions about Celtics games, home and road. So we'll do a little guide, hey, you want to go to a Celtics game? I'll give you my best info. But let's start here. I just want to start by having fun and commending the guys for streaming into the Auerbach Center, getting in there early. The place, according to Brad Stevens, as was noted on the Boston Globe, it's been pretty full for the past few weeks. Guys are starting to filter in there, I think led by Al Horford. So Al is in there getting a jump on things. That's good to see. Al showing leadership by being one of the first guys in there when he's, the OG. He can show up whenever he wants. And I think he getting in there early is just a nice kind of, hey, guys, if you want to win, I think now's the time to everybody get together and get a jump on things here so we can hit the ground running. When Joe Mazzulla walks through that door on October 3rd, we aren't learning things for the first time. We aren't reintroducing ourselves for the first time. So it's good to see. It's good to hear. It's good to see all the pictures. I think most guys are in there. Now, very obviously, I don't know if you can see this right here on the YouTube. That's a spider just making its way down into my... You're not getting paid for this show, buddy. You got to get on out of here. Crawl around the floor for a little bit. All right. I don't want to kill a spider. I think spiders have use. I'm not don't get in front of my camera. My camera. All right. I know Malcolm Brogdon hasn't gotten in there, and there's a lot of talk. It's been a lot of talk with really no new information. If you listen to the podcast where Gary Washburn was talking, he was saying the same thing that I've been saying. He's working off the same information that I have, that all the other beat reporters have. He wasn't working on anything new. Here's the little guide to aggregation. Aggregation sites. So when someone, if you read a lot of the blogs, now I come from the blogging world. I started redsarmy.com way back in 2006. So I got my start aggregating. Right? I made a little bit of a living aggregating. I know what it's like to aggregate, but there's an ethical way to do it. You see a lot of these very popular Twitter sites, Twitter accounts that will post a quote and say, Gary Washburn says, and it's one line and it just gets retweeted. in an hour-long episode, Gary Washburn talked about Malcolm Brogdon for a couple of minutes. And it was those couple of minutes that just blew up. No context, no nothing. And when an aggregator, and that's just someone whose job it is to take what other people say, people do it with my podcast too. Anytime I propose any sort of anything, anytime I had given an opinion or a strong opinion on any particular player or what I think should happen, chances are some level of aggregation site's going to pick it up and run with it. They do that to all the podcasts. They do it to all the beat writers. So when you see it happening in on an aggregation site, a blog or wherever, if all it has to be is something somebody said on that day, it doesn't have to be something new. Take the Damian Lillard stuff. It's a constant flow of aggregation, taking one quote and it blowing up and people all commenting. Because a lot of people follow the aggregation sites because it's a nice catch-all, right? Those places get all the things. And that was my pitch when I was telling people to read Red's Army. Read redsarmy.com, and I will have for you all of the things that everybody said everywhere. My job is to take all of it and put it here. You just come here, and I'll have it all for you, and you can pick what you want and what you don't want. Now, redsarmy.com is gone. Other sites have taken, gone from there. We weren't the first to aggregate. I'm not saying it that way, but that is why aggregation is popular. But I want you to understand that when someone takes what Gary said it on a podcast this week. Yeah, but it was nothing new. We knew the last time we spoke to Joe Mazzulla that Malcolm Brogdon was pissed off. That was in July. And the part that was left out of the aggregation was Gary saying he was pissed off in July. Is he still pissed off in September? I don't know. He literally said that in the podcast. He said, I don't know if he's still pissed off. But that gets left out as the aggregation goes along. Maybe he is. Maybe he is. Maybe he's not. Maybe he'll come into camp. Maybe he'll show up next Monday, a week from Monday, and be like, yeah, I'm fine. I don't understand why. I was upset. Now I'm fine. I get it. I talked to everybody. I get it. We're good. So Brogdon's not there yet, but he doesn't have to be. He still has time to show up. He's a pro. He's been around in the league for a long time. Doesn't have to be there. He knows when he's supposed to show up, and he'll show up when he does. And as long as he's there on time, as long as he's there for media day, and as long as he's there ready to play on that following Tuesday, then he should be no problem. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm kind of done with the Malcolm Brogdon speculation. Unless somebody comes out and says, Malcolm Brogdon said today, blah, 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 then in that case, I will believe in the blah, 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 blah. Until then, everybody's going to have an opinion. He says something, somebody says something. We all talk about it. It's done. It's over. There was nothing really new. Ramona Shelburne had like a little tiny nugget, but that was it. So, yeah, we'll wait and see. But it's good to see all the guys in there. It's nice to see. I think this has been an off season that just the Brogdon stuff aside, I feel like this off season has been a little, I don't know, a little something extra, a little, I don't want to say taken more seriously because it implies that guys weren't taking it seriously before. But I can't think of another way to put it. The level of seriousness, as much as it was they were taking things seriously before, I do think that has ramped up a little bit. I do think Tatum and Brown and finding each other and working out together, I think that means they're ramping up how seriously they take it. They took it very seriously before, but I think they're taking it even more seriously now. I think all of these guys showing up early and being in that gym, I think it just goes to show how seriously they are taking it. I think this is as good a sign as you're going to get that this Celtics team wants to come in here and get off to a good start and is approaching this season as championship or bust. So that's the kind of opinion that gets aggregated. All right, we'll come back with Buddy Hield and whether the Celtics should have any interest. We'll talk about that next. First, today's show brought to you by our friends at Birddogs. Go to birddogs.com/LockedOnNBA. When you go there, you're going to find shorts that are amazing. They look amazing, super comfortable, as the 14-year-old likes to tell me. He loves them. He feels great. He wears them all the time. He stole them from me. Maybe they came in a little size too small for me, and then that's why. And I shouldn't say they came in a size too small. I think I asked for a size that I am no longer, and I was being a little optimistic about when I'd be able to fit into them. Not with the 14-year-old around. He took them, and he looks great. They look great. He's wearing them to school. Hey, he's a freshman in high school. And these Birddogs, I'm sure, are going to get noticed by all the right people that he wants to notice them. Look, Birddog shorts fit better than regular shorts because they're not made of that stiff, restricting cotton. They invented this cloud knit fabric that looks just like khaki, but stretches, so you get a nice slim fit around the thigh. You get a nice sculpted look. You don't have to sacrifice movement, and you can wear them all day because they got this anti-stink, sweat-wicking fabric. Keeps you cool and dry all day. So you're running around in the morning. You can have a morning workout in your Birddogs. You can dry off in the car, get to where you need to go, and those will be fine. Now, you might not be fine, but your Birddogs will be fine. That's for sure. Go play golf with them in the morning. Come home. Do what you got to do. Hop on out. Go to that date. You can still wear the same Birddogs. They're functional for any occasion. Go to birddogs.com/LockedOnNBA or use the promo code LockedOnNBA at checkout. You get a free Birddogs water bottle. They've been giving away this cool stuff. They got this cool Birddogs hat. This is nice to wear with your Birddogs when you're out golfing. There's still time to get out there and golf. This is a nice golfing hat. Bring your water bottle with you. You're cool. Birddogs got you covered with everything you need for your day. Birddogs.com/LockedOnNBA. Use the promo code LockedOnNBA at checkout. You're going to get a bunch of cool stuff. You're going to look great. You will not want to take your Birddogs off. I promise you that. Thank you for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. Why not make Locked On NBA your second listen? Locked On NBA has got the whole league covered. Everything you want around the NBA. I host on Wednesdays with Jake Madison. So check out the Locked On NBA podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Buddy Hield and the Indiana Pacers unable to reach an extension agreement. So they have decided to move on, explore a trade. Well, the Celtics have an open roster spot. They have players. They have issues. Perhaps, Joe Mazzulla is obsessed with the three-pointer. Buddy Hield is one of the best three-point shooters in the league. Top, 2, 3, 4, 5, however you want to rank them. Doesn't make sense for the Celtics to have any interest in Buddy Hield. I suggest there is not. I don't think the Celtics want Buddy Hield. I don't think they might have some interest. I don't know exactly. I haven't asked anybody about it, but they might say, hey, what would it take? Well, how serious are you? How desperate are you? Could the Celtics piece together salary to move and get Buddy Hield? I don't think so. Not without messing up their rotation. It would basically have to be Malcolm Brogdon. Are the Celtics so desperate with Malcolm Brogdon that they would turn and look to Buddy Hield? No. And Adam Himmelsbach in the Globe said that the Celtics aren't looking to trade him any more than they're looking to trade anybody else, which means most guys are on the table, except for Jaylen Brown, who can't be on the table, Jayson Tatum, who shouldn't be on the table, and Kristaps Porzingis, whom they just traded for and wouldn't be on the table. I guess everybody else is on the table for the right deal, but that doesn't leave a whole lot of money. And positionally, the Celtics, could they use a shooter? Everybody could use a shooter. Everybody can use an elite shooter, but his defense is so bad that I don't think that's where the Celtics want to, and I don't think they want to commit to the kind of money. If he's not happy with what Indiana's offering him, whatever that is, I don't know that the Celtics are going to offer him much more. The Celtics are on the top end of what they can spend right now as it is. This year, they are just $3 million away from the second apron. Next year, they'd be over it at this point. And next year, Jaylen Brown's money kicks in. So if Buddy Hield is going to be on the books long term, now, I mean, he makes a little bit less than Malcolm Brogdon right now, but I don't think that he's the guy you want to commit to, because that money, Derek White's money, Robert Williams' money, we're talking about guys who make 7 figures. All right. 8 figures. Those guys are, look, you got Porzingis next season. I'm talking about next season. Porzingis for 29.2, Tatum for 34.8, Brown 52.4 basically, Brogdon 22.5, White 18.8, Rob 12.4, Al dips down to 9.5. That's a lot of top-heavy salary. I don't think the Celtics are looking to add a flawed player on a long-term deal with one elite skill but not much else. I don't think they're looking to pay that kind of money. You can pay a lot less. Okay, so Buddy Hield shoots 42% from 3. Great, elite. You can get somebody that shoots 38% from 3 for a lot less. And the difference between 42 and 38 is a couple of three-pointers a game, 1 or 2, 1.5. It's not so massive that you're going to pay whatever it is that Buddy Hield. He's so insulted at the deal that Indiana is offering him. I don't think he's going to take. I don't think the Celtics are going to offer him anything. Now, if you want to say, "Hey, we'll take him," he comes off the books a year sooner than what? Let me just double check his salary, because I think he comes off the books a year sooner than Malcolm Brogdon, but of course I can't find the Indiana Pacers on this cap sheet at all. It's almost like they can't exist. Oh, because they're way at the bottom. So Buddy Hield is going into an expiring contract. So they could say, this is a way for next season. We just trade for Buddy Hield this season, go all out. And then next season he walks. Okay. But you're crushing yourself at point guard. You're absolutely crushing yourself at point guard. Unless you bring back somebody like, I don't know, pick a point guard. You can bring back TJ McConnell. I don't know who else you're going to bring back in the deal there. If it is McConnell, then it's another short guy. And he's on the books next year for 9.3. So you could say, we could let Buddy Hield walk and you get McConnell. I don't like McConnell, that combination of D White and TJ McConnell. I think I want somebody with a little bit more size on the perimeter. But point is, I just can't find the fit. I can't find the mix here where it makes sense. The only thing I can think of is if Malcolm Brogdon walks into camp and is like, middle fingers up in the air, guns blazing, I don't want to play here anymore, and nothing better materializes, then Buddy Hield could be a decent option. But that is the absolute last thing I expect. I don't expect Malcolm Brogdon to be like that. I think even if he is pissed off still, I think he would keep it together. And I think he understands it's in his best interest to come to Boston, play like he normally plays, and try to win a championship, because the Celtics are going to try to trade him probably next summer, and he'll have to. Then he'll be an unrestricted free agent, and he'll want to find another home for another contract, and he just doesn't want to be the type of guy that makes any waves. So it would be so out of character for Brogdon that's the only scenario that I see. And in that case, I can't even realistically see that scenario happening. So Buddy Hield, a trade for Buddy Hield is out. Is he really 30 years old? Wow. I just saw he's listed at 30 years old. Wow. I did not realize that he was 30 years old. Why did I think he was younger? I thought he was going to be like 27. I guess he came into the league older. So, well, then definitely no. So yeah, I'm out on Buddy Hield. I'm in on you all coming to Boston or going to a Celtics game on the road. Let's talk next about a little bit of a guide. I'm going to give you a little bit of a guide to the TD Garden and some of the arenas I like and don't like around the NBA. We'll talk about that next. First, today's show is brought to you by DoorDash. DoorDash, hey, you know what DoorDash is. DoorDash is going to get you anything you want. Not just food, not just delivery on your food. You're missing syrup for your pancakes. You just run out of coffee or your whatever. DoorDash grocery delivery. You can get what you want right when you need it. You know, you open up the fridge and you go, oh, damn, I am completely out of food. If you love the convenience of getting what you want right to your door, DoorDash grocery delivery can stock you up for the week or for that last-minute craving. If you've burnt your last piece of toast, if your avocados have gone bad, if the hot sauce bottle is empty, just try grocery deliveries from DoorDash. You get exactly what you ordered, or they will make it right. Sit back and enjoy quality groceries just like you picked them out yourself, and they've got thousands of grocery stores to choose from. You'll find the best in your neighborhood, boost your local economy. You want even more value? You can save on your grocery and restaurant favorites with 0 delivery fees on eligible orders with Dash Pass membership and with easy substitutions right in the app. Best-in-class customer support. DoorDash delivers groceries exactly how you want it. Get 50% off your first DoorDash order. That sounds great. Up to $20 value when you use the code LOCKEDONNBA at checkout. Limited time offer. Terms apply. That's 50% off up to $20. No minimum subtotal. And 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter the code LOCKEDONNBA. Don't forget, that's LOCKEDONNBA as your promo code for 50% off your first order with DoorDash. Thank you for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. Remember, next week is the last week before Media Day. I'll be there at Media Day. I will be there at practices. If you're new to the show, just joining, I'm there. I am part of the Celtics beat. You're never going to find this level of inside information 5 days a week. It's just, you got to make Locked On Celtics part of your regular rotation. Since it's Friday, and I was like, let me just, instead of belaboring a point about something, let me just get into the mailbag. I had a couple of questions here, starting with Dustin, who said, my wife and I are going to begin trips to watch the Celtics play in each stadium. Wondering what your favorite or least favorite arenas are, what factors play into that, what's your favorite seat level to watch the game. And then I got a question from Lindsay, who is going to be there in the preseason, wants to know if she can come over and say hi. All right, let's start with that. Lindsay, everybody, anybody who's listening to this podcast, if you hear my voice right now and you're at the game and you want to say hi, come say hi. The media section is section 19. It's right by the tunnel where the players exit. So there's the Celtics bench, then there's the tunnel, and then there's a big set of benches. When you go to the arena, you'll see, hey, those seats look different. There's a bunch of tables there. That's where the media sits. I'm there. Now, sometimes I might not be at my seat, but if you see me at my seat, come say hi. I'm more than happy to say hi to anybody that wants to come by, all of the listeners. I want to say thank you to you. So don't, if you're in the arena and you're like, oh, I should have come and said hi, I'd be like, yeah, because I want to personally thank you for listening to the show. All right, let's get to Dustin, because I want to incorporate the TD Garden here and all of these road arenas. So let's start on the road. My least favorite arenas on the road. Now, I have not been to all of them. So if I look down the list, just going down the list of teams, I haven't been to Cleveland. I have not been to Atlanta. Not been to Toronto. or Detroit. So I've not been to those arenas in the East. In the West, I have not been to Memphis, though I'm going to change that this year. I have not been to Minnesota, Oklahoma City, Utah, and San Antonio. I've been to San Antonio, the city, but I have not been to the arena for a game. So those, because of my job, because when I was starting at Mass Live, we split road games, and Tom Westerholm and I split those. I just didn't go to all of the games, and now I don't travel to all of the road games with Boston Sports Journal. So, but I do go to some. So my least favorite of the ones that I've been to, I think Miami's arena sucks. It's old. It's all like concrete. It's the very old style. The Jumbotron is very not jumbo. I don't like that arena at all. And the lower level crowd is always late. It's just I don't like the Miami arena at all. Washington is a very generic arena. I've been to games in Washington as a fan and as a member of the media. I remember specifically when I was there as a fan, I was thinking like, wow, this place is generic. It's just, and I think MSG is overrated. I just think it's overrated. I know a lot of people, a lot of players, they love going to MSG. I don't know. I think it's overrated. That's my take. Now, arenas that I like. I love going to Philly games on the road. Philly road games for the Celtics, it just speaks to me. I love being on the road where the home crowd is hostile. You're not going to find a more hostile crowd towards the Celtics than those in Philadelphia. More than the Lakers, more than New York. Philadelphia hates Boston. Philly hates Boston, and I love it. So if you are of that mindset, then go to a game in Philly. It is nuts. Underrated arena, Sacramento. Underrated. That crowd is great. The arena is fairly new. The scoreboard, the Jumbotron is amazing. I would, if you want a good, like, Sacramento gets a bad rap. I like it. I like Sacramento. It's not glitzy. It's just, it's just a regular old city. Nothing special about it, but nothing horrible about it. Places to eat are decent. The bars are decent. The stadium, I like. The crowd in the stadium is great. And the team is fun to watch. So get yourself to a Sacramento game if you're out there and you want something kind of different. Sacramento. Obviously, from Sacramento, you can go to the Chase Center. Chase Center is brand new. It's a palace. That screen is like a football field. It's ridiculous. That place is as high tech as it gets. Amazing in a like technological advancement kind of way. And it's that scene when in Gladiator when they go to the Coliseum for the first time, and that one guy says, "I did not know man could build such things." It's kind of how I think of the Chase Center. And New Orleans, just because I love the city. The arena is actually not that great, but the city is the best. So I'm all for just go to a game in New Orleans. Go to a game in New Orleans, enjoy all the food, and the arena is all right. This is whatever. But as for the TD Garden, let me give you a quick kind of, if you're trying to get to a game in the TD Garden, and I'll answer the question about what seats do you like. Obviously, the best seats are the middle of the floor. So you don't have to like strain and look or have a weird angle. So anything around the middle of the floor, I'm okay I want to be higher up. I don't actually want to be at that courtside level necessarily, because I like to see plays unfold. So I like to be, if you're at the Garden now, where I sit in section 19, I'm forced to sit there. It's not where I would choose to sit. Anywhere in the loge 1, 2, actually it kind of wraps around. So loge 1 is in the middle. Loge 2 is next to it, and Loge 21 is on the other side of it. So it starts at 1, wraps all the way around, goes to 21. But 21, 1, and 2 are on the bench side of the arena. 11, 12, and 13 are on the other side of the arena. Those are your Loge seats that are in the middle. The higher part of the Loge seats, where you get to the club seats, are the best because I like to see, you can see everything, but you're still close enough to get a good sense of where, how big guys are and what's going on. The club seats obviously are pretty nice. If you want to get up to the balcony, same idea, 301, 302, 303 in the TD Garden. But on the other side, 330 is in that mix as well. Those are kind of like your middle. So basically 330 to 303 are your 330 is the last one, 301, 302, 303 on the bench side. And then it's 314, 15, 16, 17 on the other side. If you're at the lower level, like right at the first row, those seats are a little bit cheaper, but those seats are pretty good for the cheaper seats. Nothing's cheap, but that's where you kind of want to be. The place you want to avoid, I think, is directly behind the basket and low. So Loge 17 and 18 and Loge 7 and 8 on the other side. So 17 and 18 are on the Celtics side of the floor. 7 and 8 are on the other side of the floor. Lower to the basket, I hate those seats because you got the basket in the way. You can't see down the other end of the floor. You're missing out. So I don't like those seats right behind the basket on the lower level. If you're going to be behind the basket, be up high because then you could see what's happening on the other end of the floor. You could always watch the screen, but you're at a game. You don't want to be watching the screen. I watch the screen sometimes because I want to see plays develop. I'm analyzing the game. You want to be drunk and happy and eating and cheering and losing your mind. So you don't want to be on those low seats. I don't mind the corner seats, but so if you're going to a game, you're near the north end. If you're going to be in Boston, you can go into the north end and eat. There are plenty of great places. There's obviously some great spots there. If you're staying and you want to maybe save a few bucks, you can stay in Cambridge. Cambridge is right over the river, and a car, a taxi, even if you're near a red line, you can take a train into the game and maybe save a few bucks in your hotel. Don't stay near the arena. You can stay a little further away and be fine. Boston's a small city. You can even stay over towards the Fenway Park area. Now that the season is over, you don't have to worry about playoff baseball with the Red Sox. So if you want to stay over in that general area, you can get to the Garden pretty quickly still. So don't stay near the Garden. You can stay a little further away, and it's not too bad. You can get to the game, a 7:30 game. If you can get in there pretty early and see guys warming up. It's a nice thing. If you're bringing kids in, get in there early and watch the warm-ups. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. There are some cool places right next door if you want to go out afterwards. All of Causeway Street, you got bars up and down Causeway Street. Be careful. Some of those bars are like super, super popular and super young. If you're an older person, you want to go someplace a little bit different. You maybe want to head on over to the other part of town. You want to go to the South End. The South End of Boston it's really, like I said, the Garden is in the North End, but you want to go to the South End. South End is like casual, quiet, adult time. Across the street from the Garden is crazy, more youthful. So, but hey, if you're in your 20s and 30s, you want to party right across the street from the Garden, go for it. A little bit of a tip, a little bit of a guide. The games are coming up. You're probably just buying your tickets. You want to know what's up. But there's, go for it. Go have fun. People ask me all the time, where should I go? It's like, no, just go. The only thing you want to do, you want to take your picture with Bill Russell's statue. That's at City Hall Plaza. You want to take your picture with the Red Auerbach statue. That's in the Quincy Market, the outside in Quincy Market on one of the benches up towards the aquarium. Those are the two pictures that you want to take if you're walking around. Otherwise, enjoy the city. Walk. The city, like I said, is small. There's plenty of opportunities to walk and go enjoy and have some fun. Get up to Boylston Street, Newberry Street, all of that. Touristy, but yeah, go have fun. All right. Hope you've had fun here on the Locked On Celtics podcast. Hope you've enjoyed the show. As usual, go check out our friendly sponsors, Birddogs. The promo code is LockedOnNBA at birddogs.com/LockedOnNBA. You also want to go check out DoorDash and use that code LockedOnNBA to get 50% off your first order with DoorDash. Go check that out. I would love it if you everydayers, people who are with me on a daily basis, if you want to help me out and help grow the show, spread the word. Tell your friends, tell everybody that they should be listening to and watching the Locked On Celtics podcast. It's right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.